Hi everyone, welcome to another episode. I believe this is the 14th episode or 13th, something like that. Oh my God, it's been a lot of episodes so far, in my opinion, so far, of Business Players Live. And today I have a girl that she's badass. She's here to help you guys grow your businesses and give you huge advice on how she's helped other businesses grow and all of that. And she's amazing. Okay, that's why I invited her. Her name is Aura Carter, and this is all the stuff she's done. She's done a lot of things. Okay, so she's a woman of many talents who understands business, and her unique perspective is how she continuously gains CEOs, hedge funds managers, and entrepreneurs as clients. So that's mostly who she works with, okay? Aura has a great interest in finance and economic development from working in banking for 8 years. 8 years, a lot of time. She's been holding previously positions in companies like Wells Fargo, Wachovia, and Provident Credit Union. And Aura has also, very interesting, she's worked in the cannabis industry for 6 years as a hydroponics manager, graphic designer, product developer, and many other positions. She occasionally writes actually in some cannabis and CBD legal finance matters. And her education background also includes attending to the Chabot College in Hayward, California. Welcome, my friend Aura Carter. Woo! Yes. Aura, you there?
I want to hear the introduction. I hope that your audience could. I'm here.
Don't worry. Don't worry. You know you're awesome.
The introduction, and I'm.
Don't worry. You know you're super cool and awesome. How are you doing, Aura? How are you doing?
I'm doing good today. Replying to emails today. It's easy. It's a slow day today, but I'm relaxed. Advantage of that.
Beautiful. What's best than being in the show with me, right? So welcome, Aura. I'm so grateful for having you here. It's
Thank you for
awesome.
the opportunity.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, it's an honor to have you here in the show. So tell us, my friend, tell us about your story. How do you get into business? How do you start and everything? Tell us about you and your story.
It's a very interesting one, in my opinion. I'll say that, in my opinion. I started off in banking when I first year of college at Chabot, and I started off I became really interested in the banking industry, but one thing that I saw immediate on was that I couldn't help my customers whether I would do. It's like just passing cash back and forth and looking at their accounts and wanting some more information, let me know that there was something inside of me that I needed to do. To stay in banking, I needed to, and that's what I did. I went on from working teller to moving up as a customer service representative to then assistant manager. I went on to the corporate office of the credit union, Provident Credit Union. But even then, with me being in, as you had mentioned, I had started off with Wells Fargo and I had believed that going from to a credit union, it would be different, which it is. It is. There's a different model. When it comes to informing the customer, it's not there. Across the banking industry, there's a lot of information that is not taught to the customer. And I didn't like seeing that. It's where there's a lack of knowledge. To teach people about their finance, just take their money. It's like help them to understand, how do you put your money? How do you keep your account from going over on? How do you build wealth? You just paycheck to paycheck. Very simple things the bank doesn't do. And that's what made me go into serve the community individually with knowledge that I have. Because when you work for a company, you're restricted to going by, their methods of teaching the clients, teaching the customers, speaking to them about, and that was hard for me. That was hard for me when you're reviewing someone's account and you can't say, I don't think you should be spending your money on this.
The truth.
You got to take your money and
the truth.
Whatever it is that you see, that's what happened. And it was hard for me. It was heartbreaking. I would have people crying. They didn't understand what they were doing with their money. They didn't understand where it went. So currently, what is I talk about finance, the economy, online, on social media, within my blog, and then aside from my clients, in which I speak on a personal level, I combine life coaching and financial wellness. Those two are very, very, very important because money is emotional. Money is very, very emotional. It gets the best of us, but then it can also get the worst of us and make us sad and depressed and stressed out. And that's not talked about in the industry. It's not talked about at all. No. And why don't we talk about the very important parts of it?
Yeah.
Just 1 second.
No, don't worry. It's fine. So you know what Aura is saying pretty much is that she was in banking.
My boss is calling me, and when I boss, I mean my 2-year-old. So excuse me.
Yeah. No, so so Aura is saying that pretty much that while in banking, she was able to notice that these people, they needed more financial literacy and all of these things, and they didn't know what to do with their money, and they were in the hole literally financially, but she, there wasn't a lot of things that she could do for them in the time because she was working at the bank, right? So, that's not usually the advice that the bank wants to give to their clients, is actually to get more in debt and do this other thing and put more on the savings account instead of investing and all of that. And by the way, while I was presenting Aura, I forgot to say that she is, I believe she's got 5 books. Correct me if I'm wrong, Aura, but she's got 5 books and she's a writer. Okay, she's an author of 5 different books. Yeah, so she's amazing. Okay, and Aura, now tell us, why did you decide to focus on what you do today? Why?
I'm sorry, it cut out.
Why did you decide on focusing in what you do today? Why?
Why? Let's be honest. The world has changed in a way that we never expected after the pandemic. We are still living in time of uncertainty. The economy is upside down, and a lot of people are looking at past recessions to determine what's going to happen. And in my personal opinion, yes, look at those things, but we also have to look how unique this time is right now. And I feel that you have to monitor the current market and see what is happening. And you have to read between the lines. That's a better way to put it. It's like there's going to be one thing here and another thing here, but you're going to read between the lines to really get a grasp of what's happening. You're going to, I suggest that you really look at life from a different angle at this time in history, because so much has changed and so much is going to continue to prepare yourself mentally for that. You're going to have to prepare yourself mentally, financially, and spiritually for come. They're very critical. And right now, people are comfortable. And I say that it's about to get very, very, very uncomfortable for a lot of people. And that's why I do this. Whoever I can get to listen, whoever I can help, I want to be in their ear. Even if that's a few people. What I learned was that a lot of people, in today's time, we focus on, we don't focus on the process. And it's very important to start small. Build up your clientele, you build up your social media platform, community. And as you put your voice out there, the word will spread. And right now, what I'm doing is like I focus and I'm seeing it grow. I am seeing my community grow. Me being myself and expressing that fear into people. I want them to be prepared.
Yeah, totally. And so, and I just want to say, so the people that are watching us on Instagram Live, we can't see your comments, okay? So if you're commenting, please be understanding that we can't look at your comments. We're live streaming everywhere. We're YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter and Instagram. So that's awesome, Aura, and I love the fact that, of course, you coming from a financial, high-end experience of working with big banks and stuff. Obviously you were able to see the ins and outs, and you understand finances more than a regular person, and you want to spread that and explain people how things are. But the real parts of what's actually happening, because you said between the lines is what no one is going to tell you, and what only the big people and big media know, that they don't care anyone to actually understand, because like that's how they make money. That's not, they don't make money telling you the truth, unfortunately. So they're not gonna give you the advice you need to get out of the Robert Kiyosaki calls it the rat race. I don't know if I'm a huge Robert Kiyosaki fan, and he calls it the rat race, right? Like we're in this problem, this financial problem where we can't get out of. It's crazy. So what was this something, Aura, that you always wanted to do, like helping people with their finances? When did you find out that this was something that you actually wanted to do?
I would have to say when I was working for the banking industry, and I found myself getting depressed because I had to hold back. As I previously mentioned, I was seeing people struggle with their money. I was seeing people either coming into the bank, emailing us, or calling by phone, breaking down in tears, or people charged lump sums of money, and that money would be gone within a month. And you think about it, and you win in the lottery, and they spend it within a short period of time, and you don't. But when you see it, when you actually have a client who just received like that, it's heartbreaking. You can see the pain in their face as they coming into the bank and saying, "Oh, can't tell them you have $2,500 in your account now," and it really would go from that large of amount down, and just seeing that, and people not having that knowledge of how to keep their money, of how to manage their money, how to grow their money. It was really heartbreaking for me. So I think that's really what it was, just the great the great area of banking pushed me to want to do
Yeah, you know that
honestly,
like reminds
for me.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You first.
My mother actually taught me at a very young age. I was introduced to banking. So when I want to say like be like 6 when you open a youth account, probably a baby. I'm not sure how old, but my mother opened me up a youth account when I was very young. And I had that experience of going in with her and sitting down with the banker and opening up an account as a little kid. Gave me a little register for me to write down money. Something that was introduced to me at a very young age. I'm blessed to have that. So, and I know that a lot of people, they don't have it. And they don't have it from their parents. They don't know themselves. And then the schools don't teach it. So I like to use that I had as someone who was in a young age and then worked in banking for 8 years. I like to use that, share that with other people, to share the information.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. All right, that's amazing. And yeah, you're right. Like most parents don't even care, don't even know about their own finances. So how can they teach their kids? Which is a big issue, right? And that's why we're all in this rat race and stuff. And you know that what you said at the beginning, that you felt terrible about the situation and seeing people like struggle, and no one, obviously the bank could help them and give them advice, but that's not that's not how they make money. But when, you know, I have a similar story because I used to sell cars. My first sales position was selling cars. And I stopped doing it because I didn't feel good, because I would see the stuff that, how they would play with the people. And I had like, I mean, I could, you know, this interview would take forever to end, but like, I have stories of, you know, them telling us to tell something to the client. And of course, we're just an employee. So we just go and tell them, hey, yes, we're going to give you this. And then later on, they didn't want to deliver what they promised because they don't really care about people. And that's something that, you know, I learned. And I'm like, wow, that makes you, even if you're really good in sales, even if you're a really good banker, you start to feel very bad, and you don't want to be there, and you don't want to like keep doing those things because it hurts your soul. Like it hurts your heart to be seeing these people and not be able to help them, or just getting them in the hole. Because in my case with car dealership and stuff, you would get people that you knew they could not afford this car into a car, you know, that they probably wanted just to say they have a really cool car or something, but you knew deep inside that they could not afford it. So some industries are part of the problem too. I don't know what you think about that.
Correct. You know, in banking, you have the financing as well, and we weren't on the lots. We buy the money for the cars, and when you would see people get these loans and they couldn't afford them, you're helping them with their account, and then all of a sudden they have a new loan account showing up in their profile, and you see how they already in their account doing and money is just going, it's just going and going, and then it's not even, the balance isn't going. It's not fair to the consumer at all. Once you drive off the lot, value goes down. So you're really paying for, and that was hard to swallow. Once you saw someone open up a new loan account, it was heartbreaking. So it was going to take them years to pay it off, or they might be able to pay it off. And what? they have bad credit. It's a site. It's to be it's like we live in a consumerism and a community society, and companies take advantage of that fact. And as you said, people will know it's like even person, they'll know they can't afford it. It's all about keeping that quota, and you would see that in banking too, to where people they could not manage certain certain services, or like even credit card. You just like the example of the car, credit cards. You would see people come in, the customer service representative offers them a credit card, like, hey, Mr. Such and such, I see you don't have a credit card. Would you be interested? When they hear this, they're like, oh yeah, okay, credit, I'll take it. Not really thinking that back. It was to see a young 18-year-old in getting a credit card for $200, getting a credit card $100 out within a week, and then they can't pay it. And it was just unfortunate. Totally. But to be honest, Eller was trying to make their quota. The customer service banker quota, and it's unfortunate.
Oh yeah, it's terrible, and unfortunately, like we were saying before, like people don't get this education home, so it's hard for them to say. What they see is like, oh, I got a credit card, that's so awesome, but they don't know, which is a great tool. I mean, I love credit cards. In fact, everyone watching here, I'll probably do a video on like, how to use your credit cards and stuff to grow your business. But that's something that Aura helps people with. So Aura, you specialize in working with just regular people, or do you focus on doing business with businesses?
I started off with, I have moved to more so working with CEOs, hedge fund managers, and business owners. I do volunteer when I have my schedule, and I make those announcements that I have availability for clients, and then I will do a consultation and match for each other. But it's mainly because the bigger, they take up more time. Previously, I would work with, I would have days where I'm seeing like 10 clients a day. I like be more patient with my clients and where they are. So learning where they are, how much they understand about finance, how much they understand about business, and then going from there. So it really just depends on my availability.
Totally. Okay, great. Good. And I'm sure, like, you can always hit Aura up and online and stuff, and you can learn more about what she does and everything. She's gonna have, we have here in the description of this video and everything, all of her information. You can do that and reach her out. So tell our people here, Aura, how important is what you do for companies? Not for individual people, but for companies, especially for companies.
I will say very interesting, because when I was in cannabis, I was on both sides. I was on the underground side, and I was also working on the side of going into city hall meetings and understanding the legislation, seeing which way things were swaying. So I was seeing the background of individuals who growers no, it was not illegal. It's also meeting with people who had, I believe it was dispensary, magazine owners, festival organizers, something. A lot of what we see now happening in 2022, that this was going. And I was giving this advice to business owners. I was seeing, I was doing both. I was doing the underground industry, like, look, this is what's happening. You need to do. And so talking to visual during city hall meetings, telling them, look, this is what the government is going to have that eye to where I could tell people this is what's happen, this is the pros, this is the cons. And I like to share that information. I used to just write it out and just keep it.
So it looks like it froze up a little bit. But yeah, so like the thing with Aura does is that she's back.
Back in 2016, you said it was gonna happen. I did. And for some people, they didn't really understand. They're like able to navigate both the ill well as. I'm sorry.
Are you there, Aura?
Okay, it cut out for a second, but
Yeah.
Some people, they wonder, how am I able to both sides? Oh, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. Keep going. You're good.
And just having that eye allows me to help other people. It allows me to show them a view and see. Because a lot of the times, if you notice, in no matter what industry it is, it's things that are being talked about. And for me, I saw something's missing. It's like, if everyone's talking about this, what about that? And that's where my mind goes, where it comes to this. And it's very important to read between the lines. It's very important to study the market, no matter what you're in.
Yeah,
It's like
totally.
you have to study the market. And when I first heard the analogy, or that saying, rather, I was like, to know what's going on in the world, the global community, the national community, and your city. That you have to know what's happening so that you can navigate this and make the right financial moves.
Yeah, totally. No, it's that's big advice. And you know, like, one of the things that I think I'm very fortunate of, like I've lived, is that I decided to not niche out niche in, sorry, to one specific industry. And that has helped us a lot, because we've been able to see different industries and learn from one industry that is way more competitive, and what they're practicing, and then applying it into a newer industry that is not as competitive, and then of course helping that company to grow and get to the next level, even though these other competitors, they're still playing the small game, right? Like, they've never been so competitive as, a dentist practice, or a law firm, or HVAC, or whatever, this big industry is next to the beauty industry or the handyman industry or something that is way less competitive just because of the nature of how it is, or it's a brand new industry that happens too. It's a new industry that's trending, but a lot of big business people haven't gotten into it yet. So it's a perfect opportunity to grow and leave everyone else behind. And that has been a blessing for me and my business because we've never, like I used to hear everyone telling me, you should niche in, like pick a niche. And I'm like, no, I don't want a niche. So that has allowed us to be able to understand other industries better, which is kind of like what you said. That's pretty cool. And so my friend, the people that are watching us, they're either brand new business owners or they want to start a business. Mostly, that's most of our audience, who they are. And they want to know like how we've done it, and we because we're real people at our level, we're also in the way of getting into millions, etc. But we're not like a huge player like Grant Cardone or Tony Robbins or something like that. So it's easier for them to relate with us. So the next question is, if you could mention one thing, only one thing, where most business owners screw up when it comes to what you do, how you help these companies, what would that be? What would be that one thing that most business owners that you help screw up with?
I have actually I've written articles about this. So
Okay.
something that I see, a lot of business owners, they try to take on much at one time. And that has a lot to do with social media and the internet telling you that all of these rules to business, which is true, but I tell people to slow down, focus on why do you want to do it? Who do you want to serve? Slow down. A lot of people, they start thinking that I have to do this, and this right now to start my business. And without realizing that most don't become successful for years down the line to grow. And that would be my advice, is that take your time with what you want to do, determine why you want to do it, look at bigger businesses, look at companies, look at that big company within your city. They doing it. What are they doing? What can you mimic? What are they doing wrong? So if it is a point, something that they're missing, and then to your company, but slow down. So you don't have to do everything. If you look at social media, there's so it's overwhelming with how much there is, how many rules there are, and it can become confusing, upsetting when you have to take.
Yeah, no, it's true. And I think people get something called analysis paralysis, Aura, because there's so much information and we all get overwhelmed, and you're like, you don't even know what you're doing because you're doing so many things at the same time that you're all confused, and you're like, oh my God, I don't even know what's good, what's bad, or if this thing that I'm doing is the right thing. And business owners, they fall on the trap of the shiny object. They go after the next shiny object that looks cool, like having a like really high quality. For example, that happens, right? Like trying to have really high quality content instead of having more content, or just having some content, versus trying to have something perfect that you don't have the capacity to be competing against a huge business. So you have to find out like what are the big businesses, like Aura said here. She mentioned find out what the big businesses are screwing up with, and then like use that to your advantage and improve in what they are not doing, so that way you have a strong, solid point of sale on versus the competitors. No, that's amazing. That's a great advice. Thank you, Aura. And now we wanna know about your business, Aura. Tell us what you do. Tell us about your company. Tell us how you help people and how we can find you. How can we find you and on these places? I already have the links and stuff on the how we can find you, what is it that you do, how you help these companies and people.
Oh, sure thing. With my history and banking, I take that information that I know and I share it. I share it on the not so obvious level. So look from a different angle to make people think about having to stay afloat. It's very important in today's unpredictable society that you know what you're doing and you understand what, so that you don't fall into what's to come. A lot has happened within the next months, the next 12 months. It's going to be a totally different world that we're going to be living in. Not prepared. That is not prepared for what is going to soon be our new reality. I share financial wellness tips. I review where they are, where they have been moving forward. I project what things look like based on the business that they have now, and I show them this is where you can. Probably going to happen if you keep doing it this way. I like to sugarcoat things to make them feel like, to make them feel good. People to be happy, yes, but I want them the truth. I want them to know the truth about the economy. I want them to know the truth about how to manage money, and that's what I do. I give out a lot of free information. My social media, it's filled with just my random thoughts. I'll have a blog about something that comes to my mind at 2:00 in the morning, and I'm giving out. It's like I have my client contact me, and they'll ask me one question, and I would give them an answer that they didn't think that they need. They will be very impressed, appreciate it, because a lot of the times financial advisors, they don't answer the psychological of finance and the life coaching thing, the emotional aspect of our lives. And I like to get people and let them know, how are you going to feel if you make this business move? If you don't make that business move. I really like to take a more whole finance, speaking with my clients, and even with the content that I post on social media. I help in the comments of social media. So I'll reply to something, and my inbox will get flooded. People questioning, why did you say that? Why do you think that way? What's happening? What's going to happen in the economy? And I just let them know. I share it on my social media. Become a client. Feel free to DM me. We can continue the conversation if we're a match. But I say things that are not typical of a woman to say. I will say that. It's a very male-nated industry. And to have someone opinionated, it's not something people are used to.
Yeah, I feel you. Yes. No, I'm sure. And it's something that most people don't necessarily look after or look for all the time. So when you go and you post something like you said, or you give this free information, Aura, and like it rings people's bells, right? Like it makes them pay attention to, because it's the truth that no one wants to really think about, like what's happening. No one wants to know or think necessarily about what's gonna happen with their financial lives and etc. Because it's easier to say, you know what, I would rather not know about this than actually, yes, I want to know and I want to fix my situation. No, it's easier to procrastinate on it and say, you know what, I don't think this is real. And that's why I'm sure a lot of people, they know that it's real, but they ask you, why do you say that? Because they want to fight. They're fighting internally with their problems, their financial issues and stuff. And they're like, I have to prove her wrong, because if I don't prove her wrong, then I have to admit that I have the problem with my finances and this blah, 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 blah. Because it's easier to complain, right? It's easier to say, oh, the world sucks, than trying to understand the game and using the information on your, for your family, it's easier. It's always easier to complain, right? That's great. I love it. Thank you, Aura. And so tell us
exactly.
What are the next goals for Aura and your company and her company, your company? What are your next goals?
Oh, my next goals. I am going to look at the economy, which way it's going to go, and then from there, I'm going to start sharing my knowledge so other people can share it with people. So that's my next project, is to start having other individuals to teach how to read the economy the way that I do, so that CEOs, hedge fund managers, business owners, their community, their family, the same way that I do. So that's my next step.
Okay, awesome. Oh, that's great. Yeah. So and one thing, and I love this question, and I ask it to everyone, and it makes people think, if you could go back in time, Aura, when you started, learning about finances and your company and everything, what would you do differently? If you could go back with everything you know to the past when you started, what would you do different this time?
Well, what would I do different? There sometimes that, okay, two things. When I was I would have left sooner and worked independently for myself. I think that's one thing I would have done. It's like I probably would have stayed in banking over a period of time, and then when it comes to cannabis industry, there were some individuals who didn't take my advice and regretted it because they saw what I said ended up happening. Would have businesses back in 2016. So those would be the two things.
Okay. Awesome. And so recommend to our audience here, Aura, best three books. The best three books that you would recommend to, remember, brand new entrepreneurs, business owners, or people that they want to start a business, but they haven't taken the bull by the horns yet. What are the best three books you would recommend to them?
You know what? Read everything Napoleon Hill. I can't even break it down to three, but I would say get your hands on by Napoleon Hill. Don't just read it and put it down. Read it again. If you don't have time to read books, your book, and listen to it again and again.
Got it. So every book from Napoleon Hill, and if we can study by reading it because we don't have time, which is the regular excuse, then listen to it at least, right? Got it. No, that's great. That's great. And now the last question, my friend, and thank you so much, Aura, for taking the time and sharing with us your knowledge and your experience and your time, of course, and being here with us in this show, Business Players Life. This is the last question, my friend. Is if you could only mention three things, what would be the best three tips that you would give a new entrepreneur or business owner? Three tips. You only have three.
Three down. Look, where do you want to be in life? That would be number one. So look, where do you want to be in life? And then from there, start making those moves. Plan out what it is that you have to do to make that happen. And then lastly, start living as you are that person. Like,
Wow.
Don't think when I get there. No, you change your mind frame. Stop making excuses. Try to avoid stressors. I know that was, but those three are the main
that's
key points.
It's better. Thank you for more is better. Thank you. So number one is look where you want to be in life. That's the first one. Then plan how you're gonna get there. Then is you gotta become that person, right? The person that it's the one that, because you set a goal, right? You set a goal, you plan how you're gonna get to the goal, but you have to become the person who is the goal achiever, right? Is that what you're saying, Aura?
Yes. Change your mentality, a positive outlook. Look, make you happy and do more of that.
Got it. And you said two more things. What was the fourth and fifth thing you said? I didn't write it down. I'm writing down. This is for myself too.
Oh, to eliminate stress, eliminate the stressors in your life, and just move forward with a positive.
Beautiful. And how can we eliminate stress? I know this is another question, and I just put another question, but I want to help the people here because stress is a big thing, my friend. So how can they eliminate stress? How can we do that effectively?
Oh no, it cut out. Say it one more time.
So I'm saying stress is a big thing, especially for business owners, right? Who is our audience. So how can we eliminate stress? What is your recommendation for eliminating stress from our lives, or at least improving, our stress? How can we do that?
Remove the habit of tasking and break things down into tasks. Stop trying to do it at one time and write down from what, as far as the time frame, does it need to be done now? All the way to, okay, what can I get done in a week? But stop trying to do everything out just because telling you to. Based on what you can handle. It's like what you can handle. Yes. Like what you can handle mentally, financially. Break things down. And
Yeah, that is amazing advice. It's so Aura is telling you pretty much learn how to manage your time properly, get rid of the just do it all and do as much as you can, because that's not really how you use your time the best. You have to find out what's the most important thing that will bring you the most value to your company, to your life, and etc. Instead of just doing it all. Because when you're in a moment of I'm gonna do it all, you're actually either not doing anything or doing all the little things that you could not even, like, they're not even necessary sometimes to continue or grow your business. But because you're focusing on I'm gonna do it all and I'm gonna do as much as I can, you're actually not doing the right things that will improve your business and give you the most value. Um, and she said, yeah, that's multitasking and time management. So get a book about time management, guys. That's like my advice is like get a book about time management.
Yes,
Because
yes,
time management,
yes,
yeah, because time
yes.
management is not what you probably think it is. It's a whole different thing. Okay, it's not about doing a lot or having a lot of things line up. Like it's not about that. It's having the right things. But get a book about time management because it's the best thing is going to happen to you. I promise. Especially business owners, you guys watching us. Thank you so much, Aura. God bless you, my friend. This was awesome. Woo! This was amazing. Thank you so much for your time again, and I hope to have you again. I hope to have you again in the future. It was a great interview. Thank you so much, my friend. And hey, guys, if you need some advice, financial advice, or I mean, Aura knows a lot about a lot of things. Okay, so if you need to hit her up, all of her information is gonna be in the description below. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you everyone that has been with us through the entire thing. You're awesome. God bless you as well. And I'm sorry for the people on Instagram, but we can't reply to comments. Okay, that's not how this system works. But I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much, Aura. Don't leave yet, Aura, because I wanna get a chance to meet you better and stuff. But everyone else, God bless you. Thank you so much and take care. Okay, thank you so much for watching us. Take care. Woo!
Thank you.